Hello, guys. In this session, I'm going to talk about Atul Subhash suicide case. You might have heard about this. So this is a very emotional case, and is it a tragic reflection on India's legal system? That's exactly what we are going to analyze. So you might have heard this news, right? The tragic suicide of 34-year-old Atul Subhash, who's an IT professional from Bengaluru, and have brought sharp focus on the alleged systemic gender biases in India's legal framework concerning, marital disputes. So his deeply emotional farewell, right, that 24-page suicide note and a 90-minute video has sent shock waves across the nation. And this incident not only highlight the challenges faced by men in marital disputes, but also raises critical questions about the fairness and efficiency of Indian judiciary. So let's talk about that and let's try to understand. And before that, let me talk about, we'll try to talk about the legal system and everything. But who was Atul Subhash? See, guys, Atul Subhash was a software engineer working in Bangalore and, described as a hardworking and family-oriented individual. And his untimely death has become a symbol of growing concerns over man's right in India. So if you look at the personal life, Atul married whatever name Nikita Singhania in 2019, and the couple had a son in 2020. Their marriage soon ran into trouble, and that led to disputes and legal battles. If you look at the professional life, he is working in a demanding IT sector, and Atul was primary breadwinner for his family. Despite his professional success, personal turmoil deeply affected his mental health. Now, what are the events that led to Atul's death? Let's talk about that. So his death followed, years of alleged harassment by his wife and her family. The details from his suicide note and video actually highlight the systemic issues he faced. So there are false allegations, there are financial exploitations, there are courtroom mockery. So if you see, Atul's wife allegedly filed multiple legal cases against him, including accusations of domestic violence and harassment. That is a weapon of, you know, any woman's hand, right? That 498, Section 498, the domestic violence and everything. And then financial exploitation. Adul claimed his wife and family demanded 2 crore, and somewhere I have read 3 crore to withdraw these cases, along with an additional 50 lakh for him to meet his son. Okay, so again, there were a lot of courtroom hearings, and during the courtroom hearing, Atul and his family were reportedly ridiculed with statements like, "If you can't pay, just die." Like this kinds of statement. So let's look at the suicide note. It's a cry for justice. So in his suicide note and video, Atul revealed his despair and disillusionment with the legal system of the country. And if you look at the key points, I'll just talk about the key points: the misdirected finance, the distrust in institutions, and also it have his final wishes. So Atul lamented how his earnings were allegedly used by his wife and her family to manipulate the legal system against him. So he accused the judiciary and law enforcement agencies for failing to protect him, instead favoring his wife and her family. And coming to his final wish, Atul demanded that his ashes not be immersed traditionally unless justice was served. So he also expressed his wish for his son to be raised by his parents away from his wife. So it's a this suicide note is a cry for justice, and let's see whether justice will be delivered or not. Let's talk about the systemic issues highlighted by this case. See, this tragic end brings to light several systemic flaws in India's legal and societal framework. So the gender bias in the legal system, the laws which are made to protect the women, but now it is misused by women like anything. So India's legal provision for marital disputes mostly appears skewed towards women and favor of women. Potentially, that is leaving men vulnerable to exploitation. Section 498A of IPC. It introduced to protect women from dowry harassment. It has been criticized for being misused to target men and their families. So earlier there were bigger issues with dowry cases, dowry harassments, dowry deaths, and everything. So to protect women, this was introduced, and that led to misuse and against the husband, against the husband's mother, father, sister, brother-in-law, sister-in-law, all these. Right. So that's the case now. Now, there are various studies which have shown a significant percentage of cases under 498A resulted in acquittal, indicating potential misuse. It's not just about acquittal. Acquittal can be, if you cannot prove beyond doubt, there can be acquittal. But there are a lot of studies which has proved that many cases are fake and manipulated. And when it comes to the maintenance and alimony laws, see, under section 125 of CRPC and the Hindu Marriage Act, maintenance provisions aim to protect women and children after divorce. But these laws can be weaponized against man. And that's exactly what we see now. Again, overburdened family courts. See, the prolonged legal battles due to an overburdened judiciary that exacerbate the stress of both the parties. Atul reportedly attended over 40 hearings, traveling extensively for that, which again drained his mental and financial resources. Mental health also affected badly. So, lack of mental health support for women is another issue. It's not there. Cases like Atul that actually highlight the absence of institutional support for men facing mental health challenges due to this marital disputes. Now, what are the broader societal implications? See, this case is not an isolated incident, but part of larger trend that demands attention, very clear, careful attention now. So, this rising men's right activism. See, men's rights groups argue for gender neutral laws, especially in case of domestic violence, harassment, and alimony. Now, if you see, there are harassment against men also, there are violence against men also, correct? So, gender neutral law is what required. Now the time is over. Now, if you are demanding equality, then everywhere equality should be there. So you are saying that you are equal to men, and on the other side, you're claiming that you are vulnerable and you need protection of law. That what is that again? So again, need for balanced legal provision. See, protecting women's right is critical, which is required. Okay, to an extent, it can be accepted, but they are claiming that they are not vulnerable and they are equal in every dimension. Then why you need share from the husband? You were also working, husband is also working. Traditionally there was a concept that when husband is working or doing business, you work in the household activities, and because of that he is able to make money and everything. But now that's not the case. You are also working, he is also working, and then after divorce you are claiming share from him. What is that? What equality is there? So the legal framework must also ensure fairness and also prevent the misuse. For instance, in modern relationship where both partners may be financially independent, that what I've discussed. So maintenance laws should reflect this equality. Right. Again, this challenges in marital disputes. There are a lot of financial exploitation. Abdul's case reflect how financial demands can become a weapon in the marital disputes. Clear-cut example. There is nothing more to discuss in this. Again, emotional toll, the psychological impact of prolonged dispute is often underestimated. From men's side, it is underestimated. It is talked often and vigorously when it comes to women's case everywhere. Women commission, women right organization. There is no such men right organization you have seen talking about all these, right? So again, legal reforms which are required. See, this case underscores the urgent need for reforms to make legal system fair and more efficient. Need to be fair, more fair. It's not that, yes, you need to protect women, of course, that is accepted, but at least to prevent the misuse of it. That's the question here. Even if you want to protect women, that's okay, but prevent the misuse of it. So, gender neutral. See, in these cases, even the police also know that has been misused, but they don't have any option but to file the FIR, because as per law, they have to file FIR if a case of any cognizable offense is reported. Only after that they will even conduct the inquiry. Right. So the moment it is reported, they'll file the case. But in case of men reporting something, there will be something like preliminary investigation before the FIR itself. Okay, so again, we need gender neutral laws like domestic violence laws, maintenance provision, and other legal protections that should apply equally to men and women to prevent the misuse. And again, faster resolution of cases. See, strengthening family court to handle cases efficiently and promptly, that can reduce prolonged stress in the for the litigants, and that mental health and this trauma won't be there like this. You need support system for men also. Establish the helplines, not only for women. Establish the counseling services and legal aid for men. Men is also vulnerable. They don't get the legal aid. They don't have such counseling services. Even they are not going also. So, you need to address all these and, provide this legal aid for men and can address the lack of support, you know, which is there now. All these need to be solved. You need to address these issues which are not currently available. Strict penalties for false allegation. Now, you see, you make an allegation, you get the FIR done, and it is getting quashed or whatever, or he is getting acquitted, but he holds that stigma. Even after it is made clear that it's a false allegation, there is no punishment which is given for the complainant who filed a false case. So filing false cases should carry significant legal repercussion to, create that deterrence. So that will again help not to misuse this. Coming to societal perspective, see, this case has triggered important conversation about the treatment of men in marital disputes. So this is an opportunity for society to reflect on the stigma around mental health of man. Man is often discouraged from expressing vulnerability. Not even he can cry, and that is leading to untreated mental health issues, and that lead to this kind of situation. The role of family is very important in this case. Families must support men facing such challenges. Only family will understand this. Offer emotional and financial aid wherever and whenever is possible in this kind of situation. Media's responsibility, that is again very important. On one side, media always stand for women because women is a trump card, right? You'll get the viewership, but talking for men, no one is there. So media platform also must highlight such issues responsibly, fostering constructive discussion rather than sensationalism. So we need change, right? So this tragic death is a stark reminder of the flaws in our legal system and the societal system. So it calls for introspection, deep introspection and action on multiple fronts that we discussed. We need to ensure fairness in marital, dispute laws, provide better mental health support for men, the counseling and other things that I've discussed, strengthen the judiciary efficiently, or make sure that judiciary is efficient to resolve the cases faster. So this incident must serve as a wake-up call for the lawmakers, the judiciary, and also to society to build a more equitable system. That's about this session, guys, and let Atul's story not be in vain, but a catalyst for a meaningful change. So thank you so much for attending. So what are your thoughts on this? Comment below. Thank you so much for attending.